I am Thomas, and I am located in the St. Charles Cemetery, East Farmingdale, heading over to section 24, row double H. It's actually plot 249. It's pretty easy to find. St. Charles is as far as the directions. Visiting the grave of James Jimmy the Gent Burke. Now, I've done a few stories on him. My last video actually was in great detail about Mr. Burke. So this will be just a brief video, just visiting the gravesite and just touching on a little bit, a quick overview. Um, Buried actually with his son, who passed away at a young age. Really, not much info was given. He passed away on Liberty Avenue. Um, Son was about 28 years old, Francis, born in 1959, died in 1987, so he's buried next to his son. But Jimmy passed away in 1996. He was 64 years old of, I believe it was cancer. There is the grave of Mr. Burke. If you're not familiar with Mr. Burke, he's probably best based on the Martin Scorsese film. If you ever seen Goodfellas, that will explain a lot about Mr. Burke. One of New York's most feared organized criminals. He went down in the annals of crime as being the architect of the 1978 Lufthansa heist, which I've done a video on that as well. That happened over at JFK. And at the time, he was responsible for $5.8 million that was looted. Happened back in December. Carried out at the Lufthansa air cargo. So, actually, it was 5.8. Let me retrace that. 5.8 million in untraceable currency. $8 million in cash. Unmounted jewels of unknown value, foreign currency, and gold. No one was ever convicted for this crime. None of the stolen goods were ever recovered. And the thing is that the 13 people connected to the crime were either murdered or disappeared or missing, presumed dead. Now, you leave the rest could be left to you to figure out and see if there was any connection with that. He was also convicted of a point shaving scheme for basketball games in 1981, convicted for murder in February of 1985, after an associate of his crew, Henry Hill, testified against him and joined the witness protection program. Burke had a 20 to life sentence tacked on the original 12 years of the federal sentence he was given on the point shaving conviction. So again, if you ever seen the movie Goodfellas, you'll see the relationship with the whole crew, the whole family. Just one of the most feared individuals in New York City crime history. You could go on and on and on about some of the stories about Mr. Burke. Have prior videos on there on my channel here as well. Do flip back on it, look at the Lufthansa heist, look at my last video as well, and you have a kind of a better idea, better understanding. But here is the grave of Mr. Burke. Hope all is well.